Alright, y'all, let's talk about your wood. No, not that one. We're talking cutting boards. So, I'm willing to bet most of y'all neglect your wood pretty good. And there's a common recipe out there on the internet for so-called board butter. Now, you can get their board butter and pull it out, and it just feels like gooey mashed potatoes or Vaseline or something. Yeah, it does the job, but it's just icky. So there's a couple other ways that you can take care of your wood, and then you don't have to sit here and clean your hands so much of all this goop. And look at that. Ugh. So we have developed a alteration to their common recipe. It has given us a slightly harder wax, because it's just mineral oil and beeswax. There's no secret to it. But we went ahead and we added an extra wax. It's still 100% food safe. It is carnauba wax. And with the carnauba wax, this is our blend. Yours would come in a nifty little tin. It looks nice and clean and pretty, kind of like lip balm. You can use it for lip balm. I wouldn't though. And it actually can chunk off. It's still a little bit gooey, but you want it gooey so it'll penetrate the wood fibers. So, we're going to talk about this. How to apply it, when to apply it, and why to apply it, and why you should choose ours and not theirs. Now, a friend of mine is guilty of neglecting his wood. But I'm not going to shame him.
Shame. Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you.
Because shaming is wrong. But instead we're going to go ahead and fix it. So I'm going to, if I can figure out how to, post a picture up here of what his cutting board looked like beforehand. Now, we now have this cutting board. I've sectioned it off just for demonstration purposes. We're going to do the first stage you should do if you've let the board get at least as bad as this one did. We went ahead and sanded it down to get rid of all the nasty cut marks and whatnot, get it nice and smooth and pretty again. But with that, we need to treat it. So we come to good old-fashioned mineral oil. No, we are not sponsored. Not yet. Probably never will be, because I don't believe in being somebody's pawn. So, you're going to take any old 100% food-safe mineral oil, which should pretty much be all of them if I recall correctly. And then you're just going to take a rag, this t-shirt style. You do not want to get anything that is like this with all the little fluffies on it, because those fluffies are prone to get caught on any possible imperfections. And then you got little fluffies all over your board, and you got to pick them all off, and just avoid it. One, clean your board, sand it down, and just use a good cotton, non-fluffy cotton rag. An old t-shirt would even do, if it's clean. So we're just going to go through here, and we're going to wipe it down, and we're going to make sure that we put plenty of this mineral oil on here, because we want this stuff to soak. Now, if you have the capability and you're willing to, you can take a bucket, like I have here, full of mineral oil, and just dunk the whole thing. That's not going to do me very good for demonstration purposes, now will it? So, we're just going to go through here, and we're going to apply several coats on here and allow it to soak in. We'll come back when that's all done. Alright, now that we let that soak in for a while, we're going to take a different clean rag, and if you're letting it soak for an hour, pull it out, let it air dry. If you want to take one of these rags and dab it down, that's fine, but you want the board to suck up as much of that oil as possible, and we'll explain that reasoning in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and take our board butter and our nice clean cotton cloth without all the fluffies. Fluffies are bad. You don't want fluffies. And we're going to go ahead and take a big old dab of our board butter. And we're going to take it and we're just going to slather this thing on good. Just rub it in. Same process. You want to go ahead and get it covered all over. Nice and good. You want to really slather your wood up good. And in doing so, you're going to get a penetrating layer of that mineral oil. And you're going to get an extra protective layer of that wax. Now, the reason that we do the hard wax in conjunction with the beeswax, the carnauba and the beeswax, is because we found a happy medium. If you have the beeswax, it feels like Vaseline. It just doesn't feel quite good. And to me, that just doesn't set well when you know that your food's going to be set up on this and cut and all that stuff. Even though it's going to probably be cooked afterwards, it just doesn't set well with me. So I want something a little stiffer. Now, once it all dries and you polish it off, that's all good. This stuff that we have, just remember, if it's easy to go on, it's easy to come off. So we want something that is still relatively easy to go on, and that carnauba wax is a little bit harder wax, so it is going to go on there and leave a nice shiny sheen to it. And that shiny sheen is still 100% food safe. Nothing in here is gonna hurt you in any way, shape, or form. But you're gonna rub this in real good, and you're gonna let it sit just like you are the mineral oil. Now, the mineral oil by itself is great, but it doesn't last. It creates a what they call hydrophobic atmosphere in here, where water doesn't like to be, so water is going to just be pushed out. Now, you want to do this on a clean, dry board. You want to make sure it's had plenty of time to dry after you've washed it. But oil sits on top of water. So, you use the mineral oil and then you put it in the sink to wash it. That water's going to get on there and that oil's just going to come up. So you want to try to trap that oil in with wax, which is why most people use beeswax. I use beeswax and carnauba wax to do this. The carnauba wax is a little bit harder. It dries harder. It leaves that shine, right, which makes you know when your board needs to be redone. Because when it starts looking dry and icky, that will show in the demonstration a little bit later, it's time to redo your board. It shouldn't be a daily thing. You should be just mineral oil. You probably get 3 or 4 washes out of it before you need to reapply the mineral oil. If you use the mineral oil with beeswax, the common recipe, then you can probably get about 5 to 8 washes out of it, assuming you don't let it soak. If you use our stuff, you can probably get a good 10 to 12 out of it before you need to really reapply. So our 3-ounce container here will last a little bit longer than theirs because it doesn't wash away. So we're just going to rub this in and we're going to let it soak. There's no time frame necessarily. You just want to give it time to soak. I generally say if you're washing your board, it's probably after dinner anyways. So I would go ahead and if it's time to do the waxing, go ahead and wax it up and let it sit overnight. In the morning, come back through with another clean rag or a clean portion of this rag and just buff off all the excess. All the oil has soaked in that it's going to soak in at that point. Generally an hour's good, but I figure if you're doing it after dinner, might as well let it sit. Come up first thing in the morning, clean it up, good to go.
A few moments later.
Oh, hey, you're still here. Okay, well, it's been several hours, and we have a little bit to show. So, I already took off the tape that was down here, and because it was oil, you can see that it just kept creeping and creeping and creeping. But you can see a difference over here and up here compared to just the mineral oil. I only slathered on a little bit, twice, but it's just a little bit. And you can see a big difference up here even before I take the tape off. So let's take this off and let's see the big difference. See, looks like healthy, vibrant wood. Looks like dried deadness. When it looks like this, you need to wax it. So it looks like this. So it becomes healthy. So it continues to work right. Have a good one.